Welcome back. This is still the Polity reaching you live from the Abuja studios of Kaftan Television. Yesterday was the International Women's Day, and furtherance to that, we have in the studio to discuss more on issues bothering women, particularly in the legal aspects in the field, and moving all the way from tertiary institutions down to becoming full-time lawyers. So I'm speaking today with Asma Abubakar Abdullahi. She speaks to me now about the challenges, the prospects and opportunities for young women out there who have the dream or the passion for the legal system. Welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, let's start with the basics. Happy International Women's Day in arrears.
Thank you.
So let's get to hear what it's like. I take it you're an undergraduate trying to become a full-time lawyer. What is it like being a woman aspiring to such a profession, which, like a lot of professions, is male-dominated?
Well, I feel like law is actually a very good profession. Even though people say studying law is hard, it is difficult and so, but it's all about dedication. By the time you dedicate yourself and you know that, okay, yes, I can do it, this is what I want, this is the path I choose for myself, then it won't be a challenge. Personally, I enjoy studying law, even though I just started, but I am enjoying studying law, and I want to be a great lawyer.
All right, but what about the issues of, parity? I don't know if we can take a look at your what's it called, your class or your particular course from your own reckoning. Do you think it's split in the middle? Do you have the same number of men and women? Is that how it is? How is it actually?
Surprisingly, we have more females than males in our department as a whole. Not even my class only. We have more females, and I can say they actually perform better. They do better than the males. So.
Well, some would say you are being sexist.
I'm not being.
But really, what is responsible for that? Do you think women are more encouraged to go out now?
Seriously, I feel like women have more passion in law than men.
But they don't have obstacles. People always say that things are much more straightforward for men. The men encounter multiple issues across board. Some might bring up the issues of harassment. Others might say from the family level, when parents have to choose. I had a guest over yesterday for International Women's Day who is an expert in the education field, and what he found that for houses or homes where the income level is not so high and they have to make a decision for someone to go to school, it's often always the male who gets to go, even if the female is more perhaps better suited for formal education. So those obstacles, have you noticed any of that, or do they not? Is this something they are not aware of?
I can't really say it's not something I'm not aware of. It is, but I feel like we're in a society where we're getting better when it comes to female education. You see, we can say before, females don't usually go to school because parents feel like it's better for a guy to go to school than for a female to go to school. But then now we're getting better, and one challenge I can see is maybe when it comes to employment. Some places actually feel like it's better for them to employ a male than for them to employ a female, even though you might say, okay, even though the woman or the girl might be more exposed to the legal profession than the guy. So I feel like females are under-recognized when it comes to the legal profession or employment and then that needs to be adjusted.
Right, so that's interesting. But I'd like to know, are there inspirations, for you in the profession?
Yes.
Who are those, and what made you have those, have them as role models?
My dad.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, my sister. My sisters.
Oh, okay, it's a family business.
Not really, something like that. My dad and my sisters.
All right, so what's your commentary on the profession in terms of there are a lot of all professions have jokes, but people will say lawyers, liars. They people see you as I want to know what your response to this is, that there's no objective good or bad for a lawyer, so it's all about who has the best argument. Is that in any way true?
Well, it's all about how you defend your client, and it's all about your points. It's not usually lies. I can say it's not lies, because there can be situations where, okay, you're here to defend someone. The first thing is, before you defend someone, you have to know the true story before you be able to defend someone. So it's usually not about lies. It's about how, okay, you say your points, how you express yourself, and so.
That's interesting. That's why some persons feel like some persons should not have lawyers, at all. But then I think it brings to bear the issue of innocent until proven guilty. But that being said, how can we encourage more women to come into the law? And interestingly, a lot of politicians we see today have this sort of relationship with being lawyers. I can name a host of Governor Wike is a lawyer, Festus Keyamo is a lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria. So many of them. I think the Plateau State governor was a lawyer. So many of them in that regard. So there's usually this relationship between lawyers and eventually become delving into politics. So that being said, what's the idea behind that? And do you think how do we get more women to be involved, not just as lawyers perhaps, but to also springboard of that to become whatever they want to be?
Legal profession brings about different job opportunities. It's not all about being a lawyer. You can be a journalist by having a law degree. You can go into politics, and so the thing is, seriously, it's all about role models. We can see from we have different female lawyers that are senior advocates of Nigeria now.
True.
So I feel like the young lawyers that are coming up now can have role models, and then people they will look up to and say, okay, if so person can do it, I as a female too can do it, and I can do maybe better. And also there is this issue of equality. Females have to be treated the same way as a male. So by, let's say, the people they see, like the lawyers we have right now, I feel like the females that are coming up now can be like, okay, they need they also want to be lawyers because they want to protect their rights, they want the equality, they want to also be recognized as much as the males are.
All right, that's fair enough. You mentioned journalists there, so I think I'll look into that. I've interviewed so many lawyers. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea if I considered it. But that being said, I'd like to get to the aspect of being a student now. What are your thoughts in terms of issues that students face? The president of your association was here the other day to speak on student welfare, issues of school fees being raised in some universities and so on and so forth. What are the issues that students are facing, and particularly law students, that you feel need to be addressed so that we get better quality lawyers? We get lawyers, although I understand that the profession of law is special in that if you are leaving the country, you kind of have to have another education for the laws in that region, or so to speak. But that aside, so that in Nigeria here, we get the best quality lawyers who can do all sorts of things in terms of fighting for human rights and also basically upholding the law, perhaps some of them moving on into full-time in the judiciary and so on. What are the things that need to be done in the schools in terms of education and what you're facing right now that will improve the quality of the lawyer you could be?
Law is a bulky profession. So first of all, I would say maybe in school, the amount of courses taken, because you know there are schools that they focus on both law courses and other courses, and I feel like that would just make things difficult for students. It's better we just focus on the law aspect than adding other general courses to it. And I feel like that would give the students more room to focus on on the courses, read for them, and then be good at them. Also, I can say the issue, not really, but the issue of the fee too. You know, in all universities in Nigeria, you will notice that the fee of law students is higher than the fee of other students. Which, even though, okay, we spend more years, because it's usually 5 years for law students and 4 years for other courses. But I feel like the fees shouldn't be different. It should be the same.
But you know, lawyers, you know, seem to think that professions have a higher prestige. Don't you think is what the what I call it, the pain?
But it's all about learning.
Yeah, but what you're learning might have, you know, more, according to some, more value in the society. So
after that, don't forget, after that we'll move on to law school.
Okay, it's interesting. So, but are there other issues? Student welfare, perhaps laws? All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much for coming. I know it's more an issue we've seen in the public system with strikes and thereabouts, and then fees, like you mentioned, for private. So thank you so much for coming, for sharing your thoughts and your aspirations. I do hope to have you back sometime soon, but I also hope to have you back someday when you are a full lawyer and you are already a barrister at law, I think they are called. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we'll take on this segment of the program. I'll leave you once again with the speech from the United Nations on the International Women's Day to round up the program. Join us every weekday, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. for the Polity, reaching you live from Abuja studios. Have a nice day and bye for now. I am Amadine Obewe.